Hi, David Dalton with the Indiana Department of Transportation. I am joined this morning by Kiara Cross. She is our outdoor advertising permit specialist. Thank you for taking time to speak with me this morning, Kiara.
Thanks for having me, David.
So I wanted to just get right into this, and hopefully we can have a great conversation and we can share what you do. Can you give a brief overview of your career journey, kind of where you started to where you are now?
Okay. So right out of getting out of college in 2017,
Hmm.
I went to work as a management trainee for the enterprise rent-a-car industry. Love people, love customer service, and thought that was kind of what I wanted to do because I had been interning with them.
Hmm.
And then when I went full time, I realized how much sales is embedded and ingrained in
Hmm.
that. And because I'm a people person, I care about people. I kind of noticed just different things about the culture that I didn't like as far as pushy sales.
Hmm.
Um, that just didn't fit my skill set. And so the
Sure.
customer service part was awesome. Getting to pick up people and learn about what people do. Like I met a gentleman whose career is he's a professional gambler. Like there's someone that sponsors him to gamble like a bunch of money. I would pick him up. He had briefcases.
Yeah.
And I was like, there are jobs that you never know about. And so I got to learn the business side of that industry.
Hmm.
It was great. I just realized it wasn't my niche, and so
Sure.
then the opportunity opened up for me to come and work for INDOT in the permits division, and I
Hmm.
do outdoor advertising compliance for the program for INDOT. So
Great.
billboards in a short clip,
Hmm.
billboards along federally and state funded routes have to comply with size, space, lighting. They can't be in certain areas. And
Hmm.
so I do the compliance for that program when people apply to want to erect billboards on the highways.
Interesting. What was your degree in? I don't know if I heard that. What?
I didn't say my degree is in journalism.
Okay. Okay.
And so what I picked up from that is I'm a communicator. I love talking to people, listening to
Hmm.
people, doing these type of things, asking people questions. Typically was on the other side of it, and I
Right. Right.
thoroughly enjoy that.
I understand. Uh, so, is there in your role as a permit specialist, is there a typical day, or is there kind of some responsibilities that you could share?
So the world of outdoor advertising, there isn't a typical day.
Mm.
Questions come up, issues come up. Um, my boss would tell anybody, it's fun because there is no normal. Like
Right.
we deal with issues all over the board, and she's like, that's what makes it fun when we have these issues, because no issue is exactly the same.
Hmm.
It takes kind of this research and investigation and trying to figure out what the issue is to help our customers. So um, I help the 6 districts that we have um, in INDOT, and they kind of run their questions by me in
Mm.
regards to these billboards, because sometimes the zoning is unzoned and it may have different usage, and we're trying to make sure that we don't jeopardize federal dollars, because if we permit a billboard in the wrong
Hmm.
area, the state would be responsible for paying to get that billboard down. And
Okay.
so 10% of our federal dollars are reliant on this program effectively being controlled. I don't think
Mm.
people realize how important it is, because there's $100 million on the line of our
Yeah.
federal dollars if we are negligent and federal highway finds these billboards to be out of compliance.
Interesting. Yeah, when you drive on the highway or anywhere, you don't really take that into account when you pass a billboard, all that goes into. That's very interesting.
No, I used to drive the roads and look at the billboard advertisements. I've been corrupted in my position. I no longer see advertisements. I'm looking at the land use. Is there
Mm.
actually a business around? Does it look industrial? Does it look commercial? Does it look like it's unzoned? Is there a business close by that would grant
Mm.
this billboard to be erected? I'm looking at all of these things and these factors of, did we really permit it correctly?
That is great. So when you were maybe in high school and you were exploring, what you wanted to do academically and then professionally, did you have any idea of what direction you wanted to go, and what kind of motivated you and pushed you in this specific direction?
So I'm like a lot of unique people. I really did not know. And
Mm,
I have a lot of interest. And so I feel like I was pulled in a lot of different directions. At one point, um, I have a passion for helping people, and I
mm-hmm,
have a teacher's heart and a teacher's mentality. So I knew I wanted to do something with people. When I first got to college, I thought I was going to be like an athletic training major because I would help out in high school in the athletic training room, getting ice and helping wrap people who were hurt and things like that. And so I was like, oh
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I got into the class and I was like, yeah, but you don't really like science or biology or anatomy. And so you like helping people, but this isn't for you.
Right,
And
right.
so um, I did theater in high school. I was in the performing arts, so I danced, I sang, I acted. So I did get a minor in theater, um, but I kind of was nervous about doing my actual degree in it because a lot of times there are limited jobs for people
Mm-hmm.
with theater degrees. And so um, I realized my passion for writing and talking to people just better fit in the category of journalism, and
Sure.
getting to get like a multimedia experience with photography, videography, broadcasting. All of that was in the realm of my journalism degree, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Very well-rounded, it sounds.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, if you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice when you're about to graduate, what would you tell yourself?
Mm. I probably, honestly, now looking back, I think I would have told myself not to be afraid of the unknown
Mm,
with actually pursuing theater as a degree.
mm,
Because a lot of people, they do major in theater and they do things like I'm doing right now.
mhm.
Um, and I probably would have minored in journalism, like I would have swapped the two because my passion for performing is just something that I'm tied to. I'm actually rehearsing right now for a play that's coming up that I'll be a part of in August. And
Great.
so I would kind of tell myself not to be afraid to go after what I really truly want, and to really ask myself and not allow other people's perspectives to
Mm,
shift my decision.
mm,
Because in addition to theater and my passion for that, I probably also either would have double majored and also got a degree in education because I have a passion for teaching.
mm.
And so I probably would have pursued both education and theater more wholeheartedly.
Definitely a balance. You have to find a balance, right? I think
Yeah.
that's important, especially if you have your passion, you have a skill set, and you can marry the two for sure.
Hmm.
Uh, Kind of talking about skills in your job today, what is one of the most important skills that you have to have?
Um, I would say one of uh, the skill I use most is being able to pay attention to detail. So
Mm,
with the billboard, there's a lot of dates in history because 1965, the Highway Beautification Act is what started all of this. Lady Bird Johnson, she cared about the environment and about flowers and wildlife. And while she was traveling, she noticed these billboards are, taken away from natural beauty and,
mm,
scenic enhancement. And so there are rules before regulation kind of got more stringent on billboards that will cause some of the billboards to be grandfathered. And so when I look through these permits and I do reviews and I'm trying to put the pieces together, I have to be very, very critical and detail oriented, trying to find all of the history, trying to look through the correspondence. What happened? Why did it get upgraded? Why did it change? Why did they move it? Did we have a construction project going on at the time? And did we pay federal dollars for the billboard to be moved? And so that's a little snippet of kind of
mm.
the research portion of it that I do. And so I would say just being driven to get the details, get the facts, do the research. Sometimes I spend 2, 3, 4 hours looking into one of them because there's
Mm.
so much history as it relates to these specific cases.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you have to kind of dive into that. So, and attention to detail, I think that's just a skill that most everyone should have across the board wherever you go, is just to have that ability to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Absolutely.
So, what is it about your position? What is it specifically about INDOT, that you find to be rewarding as a career?
So the portion of my job that enjoy the most, that I find rewarding, is it links back to that teacher's heart. So I
Mm,
get to go out to the districts and train on the importance of why they need to be careful with permitting these billboards. And so our permit investigators, they are stretched very thin. They do permits for broadband utility installations. They do permits for driveways. And if someone wants to, build a driveway, commercial driveway,
hmm
just so many different, they have to be well-rounded in so many different areas. And that sometimes all of the details of outdoor advertising doesn't get taught well. And
mm,
so I get to go out and do those trainings and just kind of refresh them and remind them, okay, make sure we're looking at this. Make sure you're thinking about this. Make sure you don't forget to do this. Make
yeah,
sure if they send you some information about the zoning and it kind of looks fishy, call the zoning people, look through
mm,
those meeting minutes, make sure that they didn't go to the zoning board specifically to ask for a change in zoning to get a billboard erected, because that's against the law. And
yeah.
so all of those things, and getting to go out and do those trainings and talk to them about issues that they actually have going on in their district, that's the best part. I enjoy helping. And so to know that what I do in central office can help in the districts, that's the rewarding part of my job that I enjoy.
That's great. I feel like it's safe to say you're a people person.
Absolutely.
uh, just a couple more questions. So, if you could give advice to a person that's about to graduate and they're thinking, what career pathway that they want to choose, and then they might be interested in learning more about what you do and how you got to where you are. What advice would you give someone?
Say it again one more time. If I would give them advice about kind of learning more about the
That,
transportation industry.
yes, and even the pathway that you've developed in from journalism to now outdoor advertisement.
I think the thing I would tell most people is that there's so many things that will shape who you become and where you go. And
hmm
so looking at every opportunity to grow and to learn and develop skills that you don't necessarily know you may use in
hmm
a career, or you may kind of get on a path. I never knew I would land in permits or outdoor advertising, but my skill set with people and my passion for teaching kind of put me there. And
hmm
so I would tell myself and tell other students kind of just to be open and to watch kind of where you grow, how you grow from everything. It may
hmm
be, something you're doing as a part-time job or community service, or, things that you do, outside of getting money that help you and propel you to a place, you never thought you'd see yourself in.
That's great advice. I think, that really is. I think being open and yeah, not being afraid to go out and try something, right?
Yep.
Uh, that's great. Well, thank you for your time. Actually I have one final question.
Okay.
Uh, what's maybe something that's positive that's happened to you in maybe the past week, or if not something that you can think of there, but what's maybe something that you're looking forward to?
Recently, the INDOT permits group just revised the outdoor advertising manual,
Oh, okay.
and we kind of went into the detail of like trying to link and cross-reference all of the Indiana codes and the administrative codes. And so we've created this tool that kind of helps our investigators just be able to go and find what they're looking for in an
hmm
easier fashion and easier way. And so I'm excited to start training and doing trainings with this new tool we've created.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you again for your time this morning. It's been great learning about what you do, and I'm excited to share it with the folks that are going to be able to watch this and learn about what we do as an agency and kind of your career journey. So thank you again so much for joining me this morning.
Thanks again, David. I
Have a
appreciate it.
talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.